The chamber is open and full of whispers.
The morning sun cuts through the crooked street, witches and wizards bustle between shops, owls hoot from Elop's Owl Emporium. The air smells of parchment and magic. Hagrid and Harry Potter walk toward the white marble building at the end of the alley. Harry stares upward at the bronze doors, at the goblins standing guard in scarlet and gold uniforms. "That's Gringotts," Hagrid says. "Safest place in the world for anything you want or keep safe. 'Cept maybe Hogwarts." They climb the steps, pass through the bronze doors, enter the vast marble hall. Harry's eyes widen. Goblins everywhere. Long counters, weighing coins, examining jewels, writing in enormous ledgers. And in the center of the lobby, 6 feet tall, translucent with golden veins running through it like frozen lightning, ancient, humming with barely perceptible energy. Harry walks past it toward the counter, doesn't notice the way it trembles slightly as he approaches. Across the lobby, different entrants. Dan and Emma Granger enter with their daughter. Hermione is 11 years old, bushy brown hair, large front teeth, intelligent eyes that take in everything. "We need to exchange pounds for wizarding currency," Dan says to the nearest goblin. "Counter 7, the goblin replies without looking up. Hermione doesn't follow her parents immediately. She's drawn to the obelisk in the center of the room. Something about it calls to her. She walks toward it. Curious, the crystal begins to glow, faintly, golden light pulsing in the veins. Harry is at the counter with Hagrid. The goblin is preparing to take them down to the vaults. Then the lobby explodes with light. Golden radiance erupts from the obelisk, blinding. The crystal screams with magical energy. Ancient runes form in the air above it, glowing symbols that rotate and combine. Every sound in Gringotts stops. Every goblin freezes. Every witch and wizard turns to stare. Harry spins around. The light is coming from the obelisk, and standing on the opposite side, a girl his age, brown hair, shocked expression. The golden light connects them, a beam of pure magical energy linking Harry to Hermione through the crystal. The runes overhead begin to spell words. Elder Futhark, ancient, but somehow readable. When darkness rises, thrice returned, and 2 souls meet where gold is earned. The sword and staff shall wake as one, and Emra's true work is begun. The light intensifies. Harry feels something in his chest, a warmth, a recognition, like meeting someone he's known his entire life. Hermione feels it too. Her magical core resonates with his. They're not just near each other. They're connected. The doors to the head goblin's office slam open. A goblin emerges, taller than the others, wearing robes of deep crimson with gold threading. His face is ancient. His eyes are sharp as daggers. Radnoch, director of Gringotts. He stares at the obelisk, at Harry, at Hermione, at the golden light connecting them. Then he drops to one knee. Every goblin in the lobby does the same. Hundreds of them kneeling. The silence is absolute. Radnoch speaks. His voice resonates with ancient authority. The keystone of Emrys has awakened. The Twin Souls protocol has been invoked. Hagrid's mouth falls open. That's not possible. The keystone hasn't activated in 1,000 years, Radnoch finishes. Not since Merlin Emrys himself placed it here as part of the Treaty of 991. By that treaty, we are bound to escort anyone who activates the keystone to the lowest vault. Harry finds his voice. "I don't understand. What's happening?" Radnoch stands, approaches Harry and Hermione, studies them with eyes that have seen centuries. "You are the heirs of Emrys, both of you. The keystone recognizes your blood, your magic, your souls." He looks at Hermione. "Child, what is your name?" "Hermione Granger." "Granger." Radnoch's eyes narrow. "Dagworth Granger?" My parents asked Professor Slughorn about that. He said there was a famous potioneer named Hector Dagworth Granger. There was, and before that name was hyphenated, there was simply Dagworth. A family with old blood, very old blood. Radnoch turns to Harry. "And you are Harry Potter, heir of the Potters, descended from the Peverills." Both lines trace back to the time of Merlin himself. Radnoch gestures to his goblins. "Prepare the deep cart. We descend to the lowest vault." Emma Granger steps forward. "Excuse me, but your daughter carries the blood of Emrys, madam, as does this young wizard. The magic does not lie. The keystone has chosen them. We must honor the ancient treaty." Dan Granger looks at Hermione. Sweetheart, do you want to? But every instinct in her body tells her, this is important. This is right. Harry nods. I'll go. I should probably come too then. As you wish, Ragnarok says. Though what awaits below is for the heirs alone. You may accompany them to the vault door. The cart journey, not the normal route to the Potter vault. Deeper, much deeper. The cart plunges downward, the tracks twist and spiral, the walls blur past, but Harry notices something. The stone is changing. The deeper they go, the older the stonework becomes, and it's glowing, faintly, golden light emanating from the rock itself. Hermione sees it too. The stone is carved with runes. Observant, the walls tell the history of the treaty, the pact between Merlin Emrys and the Goblin Nation. In the year 991, when Gringotts was founded, Merlin himself came to these halls. He offered us a gift, the keystone, and asked us to guard something for him, something precious. What? Harry asks. His legacy? His power? His truth? Ragnarok points to a section of wall. There, read. But somehow she can. Merlin foresaw his death. He knew his power was too vast to pass to a single heir. He divided his magical legacy into two complementary halves, the heart and the mind, the sword and the staff. Harry feels something click in his mind. I'm one half, she's the other. Correct. The heart of Emrys. Ragnarok looks at Hermione, and the mind of Emrys. The cart descends further. The temperature drops. The air feels thick with magic. Finally, the cart stops. They're in a cavern, not a carved hallway, a natural cave. The walls are raw stone, but the stone glows with golden light, ley line energy, pure and ancient. At the far end of the cavern, a door, not metal, not wood, crystal, the same translucent material as the keystone, but massive, 20 feet tall, covered in runes that pulse with light. The lowest vault, Ragnarok says. No goblin has entered since Merlin sealed it, no wizard has even seen it, until now. Harry and Hermione step out of the cart. Hagrid follows, but stops several feet back. He can feel the power radiating from the door. It's not hostile, but it's overwhelming. Ragnarok approaches the crystal door, places his hand on it. By the Treaty of 991, I present the heirs of Emrys. The keystone has chosen them. The blood calls to blood. The legacy awaits. The runes on the door bleeze. Then the crystal dissolves, not opening, dissolving, like water evaporating into mist. Beyond the door, they're pure crystallized magic. The floor is polished obsidian that reflects golden light from an unknown source. In the center, a stone plinth. On the plinth, 2 rings of gold with red enamel inlay, an ancient tome bound in leather that seems to shift colors, a crystal sphere showing swirling patterns of light. Harry and Hermione walk forward together. Their footsteps echo in perfect synchronization. They reach the plinth. The tome opens on its own. Pages flutter, stop on a page written in archaic script, but as they watch, the words shift, become modern English, glowing with golden light. My heirs, you stand before the inheritance I could not give to one. You are the sword and the staff. The heart and mind of Emrys were born. The world you know is broken, divided by blood and fear, corrupted by those who see power without wisdom. I foresaw this. I prepared for this. Place the rings upon your fingers. Accept the burden of sovereignty. Become what the world needs. Harry looks at Hermione. Do we trust this? She studies the page. Merlin was the prince of enchanters, the most powerful wizard in history. If this is really his legacy, she pauses, we'd be fools to refuse it. Or fools to accept it, perhaps. But I think we're meant to be here. Harry nods slowly. They each reach for a ring. The moment Harry's fingers touch the gold, he knows which is his. The one on the left, the one that pulses with warmth, earth and fire. Hermione takes the right ring, cool to the touch, air and water. They slide the rings onto their right hands simultaneously. The chamber explodes with light. Golden energy powers from the rings. Into them. Through them, Harry feels his magical core expand. Not growing, awakening. Like he's had a vast reservoir of power sleeping inside him his entire life, and it's finally been unlocked. His vision shifts. He can suddenly see magic, not just feel it. See it, golden light flowing through the earth beneath London. Ley lines, ancient pathways of power. and beneath Gringotts, a massive nexus, a convergence point where multiple lines meet. Hermione gasps. Her mind floods with knowledge, not memories, understanding, the structure of magic, the theory behind spells, the architecture of reality itself. It's like every book she's ever wanted to read has just been downloaded directly into her brain. Her hair rises, crackling with magical energy. Her eyes glow golden for a moment. Harry's eyes flash with inner fire. His scar, the lightning bolt on his forehead, glows briefly before fading. The light subsides. They stand there, breathing hard, forever changed. Harry looks at his hand. The ring sits perfectly. The red enamel forms a rune he now recognizes. Merlin's personal sigil. I can feel the earth, he says quietly. The ley lines. There's one right beneath us, massive, pulsing. I can understand it, Hermione says. The magic, how it works, how it flows. She looks at him. We're connected now. I can feel your magic, your presence. Same, Harry concentrates. Yes, he can sense her, not her thoughts, but her magical signature. It resonates with his like two notes in perfect harmony. Ragnarok approaches cautiously. He's watching them with something like reverence. How do you feel? Different, Harry says. Stronger, but also heavier, like I'm carrying something now. Responsibility, Ragnarok says. You carry the legacy of the greatest wizard who ever lived. The power, the knowledge, the authority. He gestures to the tome, the Codex Emrys, Merlin's personal grimoire. Everything he knew, everything he learned, it's yours now. Hermione picks up the book carefully. It's heavy but not unwieldy. The pages are filled with diagrams, runes, spells, maps. This is incredible. The crystal, Ragnarok continues, pointing to the sphere, shows Britain's ley line network, the flows of earth magic that ancient druids used before wand magic became dominant. You can tap into these lines now, channel their power. A map of Britain forms in his mind, golden lines crisscrossing the landscape. Major nexus points at Stonehenge, Glastonbury, Avebury, Hogwarts itself. This is how Merlin did it, Harry realizes. Not just his own power, he channeled the earth itself. Correct. And now, so can you. Ragnarok bows deeply. The goblins of Gringotts recognize the heirs of Emrys. We await your commands, sovereigns. Hermione looks up sharply. You carry the rings. You have activated the ancient protocols. By the Charter of Emrys, signed by Merlin and the Founders in 1991, you hold supreme authority over magical Britain. Ragnarok's expression is completely serious. The Ministry, the Wizengamot, even Hogwarts, all answer to you, by law older than any currently in force. Harry and Hermione look at each other. They're 11 years old, and they've just been given sovereignty over the entire British magical world. Gringotts lobby. 1 hour later, word has spread. The lobby is packed with witches and wizards who heard about the Keystone activation. They part like water as Harry and Hermione emerge from the vault elevator. The two children walk side by side. They're not wearing the same clothes they arrived in. Ragnarok-provided robes. Not black student robes. Royal blue and gold, the colors of Merlin himself, marked with his rune. Every person in the lobby stares. Harry carries the codex under one arm. Hermione holds the crystal sphere carefully. Both wear the rings of Emrys openly. Dan and Emma Granger rush forward. Hermione, are you all right? What happened down there? Hermione looks at her parents. How does she explain this? Mum, Dad, I'm the heir of Merlin, apparently. The Merlin, the legend, not legend, real. And I'm descended from him through a family line that went through squibs and became the Muggle Granger family. But the blood is still there. The magic recognized it. She shows them the ring. This is his sigil, his legacy, his power. Emma's hand goes to her mouth. You're saying our daughter is a sovereign of magical Britain, Ragnarok says. Approaching, as is young Mr. Potter. They are the twin heirs, the sword and the staff. Dan Granger looks completely lost. I don't understand any of this. Not completely, but we have time to learn. He looks at Hagrid. You were supposed to take me shopping for school supplies. Hagrid nods slowly, still in shock. Right, yeah. Cauldrons and wands and such. We still need those, Hermione says. Whatever else we are, we're still students. We still need to go to Hogwarts. Though I suspect Hogwarts will be different for you now, Ragnarok says. The castle will recognize you. The wards will know you. You are not merely students. You are regents. One step at a time, Harry says. He's trying to process everything. The power, the responsibility, the weight of a 1,000-year legacy sitting on his shoulders. Agreed. Hermione turns to her parents. Can we finish shopping? I need time to think, to understand what this means. Emma nods. Of course, sweetheart, we're here for you. Whatever this is. They leave Gringotts together, Harry with Hagrid, Hermione with her parents. But as they walk through Diagon Alley, people notice the robes, the rings. Word spreads like wildfire. By evening, the headline on the Daily Prophet's emergency edition reads, "The Heirs of Merlin, Merlin's legacy awakens after 1,000 years. The magical world erupts in chaos. Some celebrate. The return of Merlin's heirs is a blessing. Some fear. Unknown children with unlimited power. What could go wrong? Some plot. If these children can be controlled, manipulated, used, and in a dark forest in Albania, a shade without a body feels a disturbance in the magical world. Something has changed. Something powerful has awakened. Voldemort does not yet know what it means, but he will." September 1st, 1991. King's Cross Station. Platform 9 3/4. The platform is crowded with families, parents hugging children, owls hooting in cages, trunks being loaded onto the Scarlet Hogwarts Express. Harry Potter stands with Hagrid near the barrier. He's wearing normal clothes, jeans and a jacket, but the ring of Emrys is visible on his right hand. People notice. They stare, whisper. He ignores them. He's had a month to get used to being stared at. "You'll do fine, Harry," Hagrid says. His eyes are wet. "Your parents would be proud." "Thanks, Hagrid." Harry means it. Despite everything that's changed, Hagrid has been constant, kind. He boards the train, finds an empty compartment, sits down, pulls out the Codex Emrys. He's been studying it every day since Gringotts. The book is vast, thousands of pages, spells, rituals, history, maps, theory. He's barely scratched the surface. But he's learning. The door slides open. Hermione Granger enters. She's also wearing normal clothes, but with robes folded over one arm, royal blue and gold, same as his. The ring glints on her hand. "May I?" she asks. "Please." She sits across from him, sets down her trunk, pulls out her own copy of the Codex. They each received one from the vault. "Have you gotten to the section on leyline channeling?" she asks. "Started it?" "The theory is complex. Everything about this is complex." She opens her book. "I've been reading about the Charter of Emrys, the document that gives us legal authority. It's fascinating. Merlin essentially created a failsafe. If magical Britain ever became too corrupt, too divided, his heirs would emerge with the power to reform it. Do you think that's now? Is it corrupt enough? I think Merlin was a seer. He saw Voldemort, saw what was coming, knew exactly when we'd be needed." The train begins to move. Platform 9 3/4 slides away behind them. They study in comfortable silence, occasionally sharing observations. Hermione's mind works faster than Harry's in some ways. She absorbs theory instantly. But Harry has instinct. He feels the patterns in the magic, sees connections she has to work to find. Together they're learning at an astonishing pace. The door slides open again. A boy with red hair and freckles. "Mind if I sit? Everywhere else is full." Harry looks up. "Go ahead." The boy enters, sits, sticks out his hand. Ron Weasley, Harry Potter. Ron's eyes widen. "Really? Blimey. Wait." He sees Hermione, sees the robes, the rings. "You're them, the heirs, the ones from the prophet." "We are," Hermione says calmly. Ron looks between them. "So you're really descended from Merlin. You have his power?" "We're learning to use his power," Harry corrects. "Having it and mastering it are different things." "That's mental. Brilliant, but mental." Ron settles into his seat. "My whole family's been talking about it. Mum thinks you're a blessing. Dad wants to know how the Goblin Treaty works. My brothers think you'll reform Hogwarts completely." "Maybe," Hermione says. "We haven't decided what we're doing yet." "We're still 11. "Yeah, but you're not normal 11-year-olds, are you?" "No," Harry admits. "I suppose we're not. A bit insecure about being the 6th son in a poor family, but kind, loyal." Harry appreciates that. Despite his power, he still needs friends. People who see him, not just the heir of Emrys. Hermione is more reserved. She's friendly but distant, like she's maintaining a boundary. Harry understands. She's right to be careful. The castle appears in the distance as night falls. Hogwarts, ancient, magnificent, built on a four-way ley line intersection. Harry can feel it now. The power beneath the castle. Massive. Humming. I can sense it, Hermione says quietly. The nexus. It's enormous. Ron looks confused. Sense what? The earth magic, Harry explains. Hogwarts is built on a convergence of ley lines, natural magical energy flowing through the earth. That's why it's so powerful, why the wards are so strong. I never heard of that. Most modern wizards haven't. It's ancient knowledge, druidic, but Merlin knew it, and now we do. The train stops at Hogsmeade Station. Students pour out. First years are directed to boats. Harry and Hermione exchange glances. We're not first years, Hermione says. Not really. Harry nods. He approaches Hagrid, who's organizing the boats. Hagrid, we'll take the carriages. But Harry, first years always. We're not normal first years, he says it gently, without arrogance, just fact. Hagrid hesitates, then nods. I suppose you're not. Go on then. The Thestrals pulling it are invisible to them. They haven't seen death yet. But Harry can sense them, living creatures tied to death magic. Fascinating. The carriage rolls toward the castle. Ron scrambles to join them at the last moment. As they approach, Hermione gasps. Harry sees it too. Hogwarts isn't just a castle to them anymore. They can see the wards, layers and layers of protective magic woven over centuries. And beneath it all, the ley line nexus glowing like a star. It's beautiful, Hermione whispers. It's home, Harry says. And he means it. This castle is part of their legacy. Merlin walked these halls, learned here, taught here. They arrive at the entrance. Students file into the Great Hall. But Professor McGonagall stops Harry and Hermione at the door. Mr. Potter, Miss Granger, the headmaster wishes to speak with you first. They follow her to a side chamber. Dumbledore waits there. His blue eyes are gentle but serious. Harry, Hermione, welcome to Hogwarts. He gestures to chairs. Please, sit. McGonagall stands by the door. You've caused quite a stir, Dumbledore says. The return of Emery's heirs. The activation of ancient protocols. The goblins declaring you sovereigns. He leans forward. Before you enter that hall, I must ask, what do you intend to do with the power you've been given? Harry considers carefully. We intend to learn, to understand what we've inherited, to use it responsibly. Responsibly according to whose judgment? Our own, Hermione says. We're not here to overthrow anything, Professor. But we're also not going to pretend we're normal students when we're clearly not. Fair enough. Dumbledore stands. Then let me offer some advice. Power, even power granted by birthright, must be tempered with wisdom. Merlin himself learned that. I hope you will as well. We're trying, Harry says. That's all I can ask. Dumbledore opens the door to the Great Hall. Shall we? They enter together. The Great Hall falls silent. Every student, every professor, every ghost, all turn to stare. Harry and Hermione walk down the center aisle. They're not wearing black robes. They're wearing royal blue and gold, marked with Merlin's rune. The effect is dramatic, intentionally so. Hermione suggested it. Establish their position immediately. No confusion about who they are. They reach the front, stand before the staff table. Dumbledore takes his place at the center. McGonagall brings out the sorting hat, but before she can begin the normal ceremony, Harry raises his hand. The hall goes even quieter, impossibly so. Before the sorting, Harry says, his voice carrying earth magic that makes it resonate through the hall, there's something everyone should know. Harry produces a scroll, not a copy. The original charter of Emery's retrieved from the Ministry's deepest archives with goblin assistance. We are Harry Potter and Hermione Granger, the twin heirs of Merlin Emery's, proven by blood and magic, recognized by Gringotts and the Goblin Nation, by the Charter of Emery's, signed in the year 991 by Merlin himself and the founders of this school, we claim our sovereignty over magical Britain. The hall erupts in whispers, shock, disbelief, excitement. Then something extraordinary happens. The wards of Hogwarts respond. Every torch in the hall burns brighter. The enchanted ceiling clears to perfect stars. And on the walls, where there were usually just stone, portraits appear. Not the regular portraits. These are ancient. 4 faces, 4 founders, Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, Salazar Slytherin, They've been hidden for centuries, but the rings of Emery's call to them. Godric's portrait speaks. His voice is warm, powerful. We knew this day would come, the return of our brother's legacy. Welcome home, heirs of Emery's. The hall explodes in chaos, students shouting. McGonagall looks faint. Dumbledore rises, and to his credit, he bows. Hogwarts recognizes the heirs of Emery's. We are honored to teach you. He pauses. Though I suspect it is we who will learn from you. The sorting hat is brought forward. McGonagall, hands slightly shaking, gestures to Hermione. Hermione sits. The hat descends onto her head. For a moment there's silence. Then the hat speaks aloud, loud enough for everyone to hear. I cannot sort the mind of Emery's. She is beyond the bounds of houses. Her wisdom surpasses Rowena's. Her loyalty matches Helga's. Her cunning rivals Salazar's. Her courage equals Godric's. But if I must choose a house for companionship and learning, then Ravenclaw would be honored beyond measure. Ravenclaw, Hermione says clearly. The Ravenclaw table erupts in cheers, but it's different from normal sorting cheers. It's reverent. They understand they haven't gained a normal student. Harry's turn. The hat barely touches his head before speaking. I cannot sort the heart of Emery's. He is beyond houses, his courage is beyond question, his loyalty unshakable, his cunning deep, his wisdom growing. Gryffindor, Harry says. He wants the brotherhood, the adventure, the courage of that house. Gryffindor welcomes the heir, the hat announces. The Gryffindor table doesn't cheer immediately. They're too shocked. Then Fred and George Weasley start clapping. Others join. Soon the whole hall is applauding. But Harry and Hermione remain standing at the front. We accept our house assignments, Hermione announces. But understand this. We are not bound by house divisions. We are regents of Hogwarts. We have quarters in the Founders Wing, which has been sealed for 900 years. We will attend classes to learn modern magic. But we are not simply students. We will not abuse our authority, Harry adds. We're here to learn, to grow, to prepare for what's coming. We ask for your patience as we figure this out. They move to their respective tables, Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. The sorting continues. Other first years are called, but it's all anticlimax after what just happened. Ron Weasley is sorted into Gryffindor. He sits near Harry but keeps some distance, uncertain how to act around someone with so much power. Draco Malfoy is sorted into Slytherin. He keeps glancing at Harry and Hermione, calculating. When the feast appears, the food is magnificent as always. But Harry barely tastes it. He's too aware of everyone watching him. Hermione at the Ravenclaw table looks similarly uncomfortable. After the feast, the prefects lead students to their dormitories. But Professor McGonagall intercepts Harry and Hermione. Mr. Potter, Miss Granger, if you'll follow me. A corridor that wasn't there before. Or rather, was hidden by wards that now recognize them. The Founders Wing, McGonagall stops at a wooden door carved with all 4 house animals and Merlin's rune in the center. The password is, well, there is no password. The door answers only to you. Harry places his hand on the wood. It swings open immediately. Beyond, a common room that looks like a combination of all 4 house common rooms, rich tapestries, comfortable furniture, bookshelves filled with ancient tomes, windows overlooking the grounds. 2 staircases lead to separate bedrooms, one for Harry, one for Hermione. Your trunks have been brought up, McGonagall says. If you need anything, the house elves will assist. Good night. She leaves them alone. Harry and Hermione stand in the center of the common room. Their private quarters, their sanctuary. This is insane, Harry says. Completely, Hermione agrees. But also, right. Doesn't it feel right? Harry walks to the window, looks out over Hogwarts. He can feel the ley line beneath the castle, pulsing, alive. Singing, yeah, he says. It feels like home. Hermione joins him at the window. They stand side by side. The sword and the staff. The heart and the mind. Tomorrow classes start, she says. We should sleep. Agreed. They separate to their rooms. Harry's bedroom is perfect. Large bed, desk, bookshelves, personal bathroom. Everything he could want. He changes into pajamas, lies in bed, stares at the ceiling. 1 month ago he was living in a cupboard under the stairs. Now he's the heir of Merlin, a sovereign of magical Britain. Living in the Founders Wing of Hogwarts, his life has become something out of legend, and he has absolutely no idea what comes next. September 2nd, 1991, first day of classes. Harry wakes before dawn, can't sleep. Too much nervous energy. He dresses in his normal Hogwarts robes, black, not the royal blue, and goes to the common room. Hermione is already there, also dressed normally, also unable to sleep. "Morning," she says. "Morning. Nervous? We're about to try to attend classes like normal students when everyone knows we're not normal. Maybe that's the point. We prove we're students first. Sovereigns second. Smart." They study together until breakfast, reviewing the class schedule. They're taking all the standard first-year classes: transfiguration, charms, potions, history of magic, herbology, astronomy, defense against the dark arts. The great hall is packed when they enter. Conversations stop. Everyone stares. Harry heads to Gryffindor table, Hermione to Ravenclaw. They eat quickly. Quietly, Ron sits across from Harry. Hi, Ron. So, that was mental last night. The founders' portraits, the whole regent thing. Yeah. Are you going to, change things? Not immediately. We need to learn how Hogwarts works before we try to fix anything. That's good. Sensible. Ron relaxes slightly. Thought you might start ordering people around. We're not dictators, Ron. We're just us, with extra responsibilities. First class, transfiguration with Professor McGonagall. The first years gather in the classroom. Harry and Hermione sit separately. Harry with Ron, Hermione with a Ravenclaw girl named Padma Patil. McGonagall enters. Transforms from a cat into herself. The class gasps. Transfiguration is some of the most complex and dangerous magic you will learn at Hogwarts, she begins. Anyone messing around in my class will leave and not come back. She demonstrates turning a match into a needle, then assigns them to try it themselves. Harry focuses. He's read about transfiguration in the Codex. The theory is fascinating, changing the essential nature of an object by imposing your will on reality. He doesn't need to wave his wand. The knowledge from Merlin's legacy guides him. He simply asks the match to become a needle. It does, perfectly. Silver and sharp. McGonagall walks past, stops, stares. "Mr. Potter, that's perfect. On your first attempt." "I've been studying, Professor." Across the room, Hermione has also succeeded. Her needle is identical to McGonagall's demonstration. The other students struggle. By the end of class, only Harry and Hermione have succeeded completely. McGonagall pulls them aside after. "You've been studying transfiguration before term started." "We've been studying the Codex Emery's," Hermione explains. "Merlin's personal grimoire. It contains his understanding of transfiguration theory. We're applying what we learned." The Codex Emery's? I'd heard rumors it existed. McGonagall's expression is complicated. Pride, concern, wonder. Be careful. That book contains knowledge most wizards spend lifetimes trying to understand. "We're being careful," Harry promises. Next class. Charms with Professor Flitwick. Flitwick is delighted to have Hermione and Ravenclaw, and fascinated by both hairs. Today we'll learn the levitation charm, Wingardium Leviosa. The wand movement is swish and flick. Harry doesn't use a wand movement. He focuses on the feather in front of him, connects to the ley line beneath Hogwarts, asks the feather to rise. It floats upwards smoothly. Flitwick's eyes widen. "Mr. Potter? Did you just perform wandless magic?" "The ley line beneath the castle. It's different from normal wand magic." "Show me." Her feather moves with even more precision, mathematical patterns, spirals and loops. "Extraordinary," Flitwick breathes. "I've read about ley line channeling, druidic magic, but I've never seen it performed. To think you've learned this already." "We're still learning," Hermione says. "We can feel the ley line, but controlling the flow precisely is difficult. We're much better with wands for fine work." Still, remarkable. The other students watch with a mixture of awe and envy. Harry can feel the distance growing. They're separating themselves from their peers without meaning to. After class, he pulls Hermione aside. "We need to tone it down." "Tone what down?" "The showing off. We're making everyone uncomfortable. We're not showing off, we're just being what we are." "I know, but we need friends. Allies. If everyone sees us as unreachable, we'll be isolated." Hermione considers. "You're right. Tomorrow we use wands like everyone else. Save the earth magic for private study." Agreed. They head to lunch. The Great Hall is buzzing with talk of their morning demonstrations. That afternoon, defense against the dark arts with Professor Quirrell. Harry and Hermione enter the classroom. The moment they do, Harry feels something wrong. The magical signature in the room is off, distorted, like two sources overlapping. He looks at Hermione. She feels it too. Her eyes narrow. Quirrell is at his desk, wearing his signature turban, stuttering through the introduction. Welcome, F first years. Today we begin our study of dark creatures. Harry focuses, extends his magical senses. The wrongness is coming from Quirrell himself, or rather, from something attached to Quirrell, something parasitic. Hermione's hand moves to her ring. She's sensing it too. They endure the class, learning about dark creatures, taking notes. But both are distracted by what they're feeling. After class, they stay behind. Professor Quirrell, Hermione says, may we ask you something? His voice carries earth magic. Command, remove your turban. I cannot. Harry doesn't ask again. He reaches out with earth magic, connects to the ley line beneath the castle, pulls. The turban unwinds on its own, spiraling off Quirrell's head, falling to the floor, and there, on the back of Quirrell's head, a face, pale, noseless, red eyes, screaming, Voldemort. Not a full person, a wraith, a fragment of soul possessing Quirrell like a parasite. Harry doesn't hesitate. He studied the section in the Codex about possession, about cleansing dark magic from hosts. He raises both hands. Hermione mirrors him. Together they channel the ley line's power. Golden light pours from their rings. The banishment of shadows, Hermione intones, speaking in the old tongue. Words from the Codex, Lumos Sanctus Terrae. The light explodes from them, pure earth magic, cleansing, purifying. The wraith face screams. It's being ripped away from Quirrell, like removing a splinter from flesh. Voldemort's shade fights, tries to maintain its grip. Harry speaks a single word in the old tongue, dissolvo. The wraith tears free completely, manifests as black smoke, tries to flee. But Hermione is ready. She's drawn a containment circle on the floor with chalk while Harry was speaking. Ancient runes, precise placement. The wraith hits the circle's boundary, cannot pass. Together, Harry and Hermione speak the word of unmaking. Annihilare. The wraith dissolves. Not destroyed, that's too permanent. But dispersed, scattered. It will take Voldemort months or years to reconstitute. The smoke dissipates. Quirrell collapses to the floor, unconscious but breathing. Alive, the classroom door bursts open. Dumbledore rushes in, followed by McGonagall and Snape. They must have felt the magical discharge. What happened? Dumbledore demands. Voldemort, Harry says simply. He was possessing Professor Quirrell. We removed him. Snape kneels by Quirrell, checks his pulse. He's alive, severely depleted, but alive. At the residual golden light still fading from the air, you performed the banishment of shadows, a ritual I thought lost to time. It's in the Codex, Hermione explains. Merlin used it to expel dark spirits from possessed individuals without killing the host. In a month? We're learning quickly, Harry says. We have to. Voldemort is out there, and he's not going to wait for us to be ready. McGonagall speaks. You should have alerted us, not handled this yourselves. With respect, Professor, Hermione says, by the time we alerted you and debated what to do, Voldemort would have fled with Quirrell as his host. We had seconds to act. You're right. You did what needed to be done. He looks at them seriously. But understand, Voldemort will return. This was merely one fragment. He has other anchors. Horcruxes, Harry says. We know. The Codex describes them. Objects containing fragments of a soul, anchors to prevent true death. You know about Horcruxes? Dumbledore sounds shocked. Merlin encountered them, studied them, learned how to destroy them safely. Hermione pulls the Codex from her bag, opens to the relevant section. We know what we're looking for. Snape stares at them. You are 11 years old? You should not be dealing with Horcruxes. We're the heirs of Emrys, Harry says quietly. Age doesn't change our responsibility. Dumbledore is silent for a long time. Then, I will help you. I've been searching for Voldemort's Horcruxes myself. Together, we may succeed. We will succeed, Hermione corrects. Failure isn't an option. Madame Pomfrey is told he suffered a dark magic accident. The students are told classes are canceled for the day while investigations continue. Harry and Hermione return to the Founders' Wing. Exhausted, drained, channeling that much earth magic took everything they had. But they did it. They faced Voldemort, a fragment of him, and won. September 3rd, 1991. The day after the Quirrell incident, the castle is buzzing with rumors. Wild stories about what happened in the defense classroom, most of them wrong, some of them close to the truth. Harry and Hermione meet with Dumbledore in his office. The headmaster sits behind his desk. Fawkes perches nearby, regarding them with intelligent eyes. The portraits of former headmasters watch silently. Professor Quirrell will recover, Dumbledore says. Madame Pomfrey believes he'll be ready to resume teaching within a week. The possession left no permanent damage thanks to your precise work. We were careful, Hermione says. The Codex emphasizes that the banishment must be surgical. Too much force kills the host. Indeed, Dumbledore steeples his fingers. Now, about the Philosopher's Stone. Harry and Hermione exchange glances. We know it's here, Harry says. We can feel it. Third floor corridor behind the locked door. Protected by Fluffy. Fluffy? Hagrid's three-headed dog. We've met him. Dumbledore's lips twitch. Of course you have. Yes, the stone is here. Nicholas Flamel and I agreed it needed protection after Voldemort's failed attempt to steal it from Gringotts. It's bait, Hermione realizes. You're using it to draw out Voldemort's servants. I was, but you've already found one. And Dumbledore pauses. I confess I didn't anticipate the return of Emery's heirs. Your presence changes the equation considerably. The stone is a vulnerability, Harry says. As long as it exists, Voldemort has a target, a goal. Precisely, which is why Nicholas has agreed to destroy it once we're certain all threats have been eliminated. We'll retrieve it, Hermione says. Today, with your permission, you, the protections you've placed, Fluffy, Devil's Snare, the flying keys, the chess set, the logic puzzle, the mirror of Ereist, they're designed to test specific qualities. We have all of them. You've analyzed the protections. We can sense them, Harry explains. The wards, the enchantments, we know what's down there. Then you understand the mirror of Ereist. It shows one's deepest desire, Hermione recites. The stone is hidden within. Only someone who wants to find it but not use it can retrieve it. Can you pass that test? Harry considers, my deepest desire isn't immortality or wealth. It's, he pauses, vulnerable. Family, people who love me. Safety. And mine is knowledge, Hermione adds. Understanding. The stone offers neither. We don't want it. We just want it safe. Dumbledore nods slowly. Very well, but I'll accompany you. These are still dangerous protections. The third floor corridor. Late afternoon. Dumbledore leads Harry and Hermione to the locked door. Fluffy's growling is audible through the wood. Stand back, Dumbledore says, wand raised. Wait, Harry says. He places his hand on the door, speaks quietly. Fluffy, it's Harry. We're not here to hurt you. The growling stops. Hermione looks surprised. Fluffy likes music and treats. Harry opens his bag, pulls out a large bone he got from the kitchens. I came prepared. He opens the door. Fluffy, the massive three-headed dog, sits there. All three heads perk up when they see Harry. Harry tosses the bone. Fluffy catches it eagerly, begins gnawing. After you, Professor, Harry says. Dumbledore looks bemused. I begin to see why Merlin chose you. They descend through the trapdoor, land on Devil's Snare. The plant begins to wrap around them, squeezing. Relax, Hermione says. Devil's Snare hates light and warmth, but it also releases those who don't struggle. Harry does the same. Then Dumbledore. Next chamber, the flying keys. He extends his magical senses, feels which key has been used most recently. The old one with the bent wing, calls to it using earth magic. The key flies directly into his hand. Impressive, Dumbledore murmurs. The chess set chamber. Dumbledore starts to explain the rules, but Hermione is already studying the board. White is aggressive, but predictable. Black is defensive, but has better positioning. She moves to stand behind the Black Queen. This will take approximately 7 moves. She plays. Precise. Ruthless. The white pieces don't stand a chance. Checkmate. Next. The troll chamber. The troll is already unconscious. Quirrell's work before they banished Voldemort. Finally, the logic puzzle. 7 bottles. A riddle written on parchment. Hermione reads it once, solves it immediately. This one goes forward. This one goes back. Only enough for one person. You go, Harry says. No, you. Your instinct is better in direct confrontation. Professor Dumbledore can take me through when you're done. Harry doesn't argue further. He drinks the forward potion, steps through the purple flames. The final chamber. The mirror of Erised stands in the center, tall, golden, inscribed with the words, Erist stre eru oit ube cafru oit onwosi. Harry approaches, looks into the mirror. He sees himself, older, standing with Hermione, Ron, Hagrid, and people he doesn't recognize but knows somehow are his friends. His family, all alive, all safe, all happy. That's what he wants. Not the stone, not power, just that. In his reflection's pocket, a red stone appears. Then in his real pocket, heavy, warm. He pulls it out, the Philosopher's stone, about the size of an egg, glowing faintly. The flames part. Hermione and Dumbledore enter. You have it, Dumbledore says. I have it, Harry holds it out. What now? Now we give it to Nicholas, and he destroys it. Dumbledore takes the stone carefully. Well done, Harry. Hermione, you've prevented Voldemort from gaining a significant advantage. It's not over, Hermione says. The horcruxes remain. We need to find them. Destroy them. We will, Dumbledore promises. Together. September 10th, 1991. 1 week later. Classes have resumed. Quirrell is back teaching, though he's nervous and apologetic. The possession damaged him psychologically. He requests a leave of absence at the end of term. Dumbledore grants it. Harry and Hermione have settled into a routine. They attend classes during the day, using wands like normal students, trying not to stand out too much. At night, they study the Codex in the Founders Wing, learning, growing. Their relationship with other students is complicated. Ron Weasley has become a genuine friend. He treats them normally, jokes with Harry, argues with Hermione about homework, doesn't care about their titles. Others are more difficult. Some students worship them. Others resent them. Most are simply intimidated. One evening, Draco Malfoy approaches Harry in the corridor. Potter, a word. Harry stops. Malfoy? Position. Your authority. I'm not interested in meeting people who bought their way out of Azkaban after serving Voldemort. Draco's face goes red. My father was cleared of all charges. Your father was never charged because he had enough gold to make the charges disappear. I've read the records. The goblins gave me access. Harry steps closer. Tell Lucius Malfoy that the old ways are ending. Blood supremacy, political corruption, all of it. He can adapt or be left behind. You can't just... I can. I'm a sovereign of magical Britain. The Charter of Emrys gives me authority over the Ministry, the Wesengaumet, and every magical institution in this country. That's not a threat. It's a fact. Harry walks away, leaving Draco speechless. Hermione meets him at the entrance to the Founders Wing. I heard that exchange, she says. You're making enemies. I'm making the right enemies. People like Lucius Malfoy are exactly what's wrong with magical society. Agreed. But we need to be strategic. We can't reform everything at once. I know. One step at a time. Harry opens the door to their common room. Have you been working on the Horcrux research? Yes. The Codex lists several methods for detecting them, but we need to know what we're looking for. Objects with personal significance to Voldemort. They sit by the fireplace. Spread out notes. Tom Riddle, Harry says. That's his birth name. Orphan. Raised in a Muggle orphanage. Came to Hogwarts. Became brilliant. Became dark. He would have chosen objects that represented his achievements. His heritage, Hermione consults a genealogy chart. He's descended from Salazar Slytherin. That's significant. Also objects from the other founders. Collecting them would appeal to his arrogance. Hufflepuff's cup. Ravenclaw's diadem. The diadem is here, Harry says suddenly. In Hogwarts, I can feel it. Something dark in the castle. I noticed it when we first arrived, but couldn't place it. Where? The corridor with the tapestry of Barnabas the Barmy. The room of requirement, Hermione realizes. A room that becomes whatever you need. If Voldemort hid something there, we check tomorrow. September 11th, 1991. After classes. Harry and Hermione stand in the 7th floor corridor, pacing in front of the blank wall 3 times. I need the room where things are hidden, Harry thinks clearly. A door appears. They enter. The room is vast. Mountains of objects, furniture, books, cauldrons, broken wands, a lifetime of discarded things. This could take days, Hermione says, or seconds. Harry closes his eyes, feels for the dark magic. There, to the left, behind a stack of chairs, he follows the pull, finds a cabinet, opens it. Inside, a tiara, delicate, beautiful, covered in dust. The moment Harry touches it, he feels the wrongness, the dark magic, the corrupted soul fragment inside. Ravenclaw's diadem, Hermione breathes, lost for centuries. And now, a horcrux. Harry carries it carefully. They return to the Founders' Wing. In their common room, they prepare the ritual. The Codex describes several methods for destroying horcruxes: basilisk venom, fiend fire, or, the safest method, the unmaking ritual. It requires precise runic work, a circle of Elder Futhark symbols, connection to a ley line, perfect synchronization between casters. Hermione draws the circle with powdered silver. Harry places the diadem in the center. Together they kneel at opposite sides of the circle, place their hands on the floor, connect to the ley line beneath Hogwarts. Golden light flows into the circle. Annulaire tenebras, they speak in unison. Unmake the darkness. The diadem begins to tremble. Black smoke seeps from it. The soul fragment inside screams. They maintain the flow of power. Steady, relentless. The earth magic doesn't destroy. It unmakes. It rejects the Horcrux's existence. Erases it from reality. The diadem cracks. The soul fragment dissolves. The tiara crumbles to dust. One Horcrux destroyed. They sit back, exhausted but triumphant. How many more? Harry asks. The Codex suggests Voldemort would create 7. One was destroyed accidentally when he attacked you as a baby. The backlash. We just destroyed the diadem. That leaves 5. We'll find them, one by one. June 1992, end of first year. The year has been eventful. Harry and Hermione have excelled academically, both receiving perfect marks in every subject. They've made friends, Ron, Neville, Padma, and others who see past their titles. They've also begun to reshape Hogwarts subtly. Small changes, suggesting curriculum improvements, advocating for students. The teachers have adjusted to their presence. McGonagall treats them with respect but still holds them accountable. Flitwick delights in teaching them advanced magic. Even Snape has grudgingly acknowledged their skill. Summer arrives. Harry returns to the Dursleys briefly. He's legally required to spend some time there for the Blood Wards. But it's different now. He's not the helpless boy he was. He's a sovereign. The Dursleys are terrified of him. He stays 2 weeks, then leaves for the Granger's house. Dan and Emma Granger have adapted remarkably to having 2 magical heirs as guests. Their home becomes a study center, books everywhere, the Codex always open. Hermione and Harry working together constantly. "You two are going to burn yourselves out," Emma says one evening. "We're fine, Mum," Hermione insists. "You're 12 years old. You should be playing, having fun." "We are having fun. Learning is fun." Emma exchanges a look with Harry. "And you? Are you happy here?" Harry considers. "Happier than I've ever been. Thank you for letting me stay." "You're always welcome, Harry. Your family." He's never really had that. September 1st, 1992. Second year begins. The Hogwarts Express rolls north again. Harry and Hermione in their usual compartment. Ron joins them immediately. "Did you two spend the whole summer studying?" Ron asks. "Not the whole summer," Hermione says. "We also practiced earth magic, mapped more ley lines. Visited Stonehenge." "You visited Stonehenge?" "It's the most powerful ley line nexus in Britain. We needed to understand it." Ron shakes his head. Mental, completely mental. The castle welcomes them back. The wards recognize them. The Founders' Wing opens at their approach. Classes resume. Second-year curriculum, more advanced than first year but still manageable. Then October arrives, and with it, messages written in blood. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the heir, beware. The castle erupts in panic. Students whispering about the Chamber of Secrets, the monster within. Salazar Slytherin's legacy. Harry and Hermione investigate immediately. They research in the library, read about the chamber. A secret room built by Slytherin to purge the school of Muggle-borns contains a monster that only his heir can control. The heir of Slytherin, Hermione says. That's what the message means. Someone has opened the chamber. "We need to find it," Harry says. They search, use their connection to the ley lines to feel for hidden spaces in the castle. There, in the dungeons, a chamber that shouldn't exist, sealed by ancient magic. But the entrance remains elusive. Then students start being petrified. Mrs. Norris first, then Colin Creevey, then nearly headless Nick and Justin Finch Fletchley. The attacks create terror. Parents demanding their children be sent home. The Board of Governors pressuring Dumbledore. Harry and Hermione work frantically to identify the monster. Petrified, not killed, Hermione notes. They're seeing something indirectly. Reflections, ghosts, camera lenses. What kills with direct eye contact but petrifies through indirect sight? Hermione flips through a book. Stops. Goes pale. Basilisk. A giant serpent. The king of serpents, its direct gaze is fatal. Indirect gaze causes petrification. How would it move through the castle unseen? The plumbing, Harry realizes. Slytherin built the chamber. He would have built it connected to water pipes. The basilisk travels through them. Then the entrance is in a bathroom, somewhere with old pipes. They check every bathroom in the castle. Finally find it, Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, 2nd floor. Abandoned. Harry examines the sinks, finds one with a serpent carved into the copper. He speaks, Parseltongue, a language he didn't know he could speak until now. Open, leading down into darkness. We're going down there, Harry says. Together, Hermione insists. They don't tell anyone. This is their responsibility. The heirs of Emrys dealing with the heir of Slytherin's monster. They slide down the pipe, land in a tunnel. Massive, ancient. The walls are carved with serpents. Harry can hear something. A voice, hissing, enormous. Blood, so long hunger. The basilisk, Harry whispers. It's close. They move forward, wands drawn, alert. The tunnel opens into a chamber. Vast, cathedral-sized, stone serpent statues line the walls. And at the far end, a massive face carved into the wall. Salazar Slytherin's face. Movement in the shadows. The basilisk emerges, 60 feet long, green scales gleaming, eyes shut. It knows not to look directly at potential prey immediately. Harry speaks, Parseltongue. Stop. The serpent pauses, its head swivels toward him. A speaker, after so long. I am Harry Potter, heir of Emrys, not heir of Slytherin. Then you should not be here. I'm here to free you. The basilisk's head tilts. Curious, free, you've been enslaved for 1,000 years. Bound to this chamber. Commanded to kill. That's not freedom, that's torture. The dark speaker commanded me, the boy with the black book. His voice carries the blood of Slytherin. Tom Riddle, Voldemort. He's using you, controlling you through dark magic. Hermione steps forward. Carefully. We can break that control. We can heal you. Why would you do this? Because enslavement is wrong, Harry says simply. Even for a basilisk. You deserve freedom, choice. The great serpent is silent for a long moment. Then, no one has offered me choice before. Let us help you. If you fail, I am bound to kill you. If we fail, we deserve to die. Then, try. Harry and Hermione begin the ritual, the restoration of true nature. From the Codex, complex, requiring massive power and perfect precision. They draw a circle around the basilisk, enormous. Hundreds of runes in Elder Futhark. Each one must be exact. It takes hours. The basilisk waits patiently. Finally, the circle is complete. They kneel at opposite sides, connect to the ley line beneath the chamber, draw power, golden light fills the chamber, the runes bleeze. The basilisk writhes, not in pain, in transformation, the dark magic binding it. Placed by Riddle through the diary, burns away. Its scales glow. Its eyes, still closed, change color from murderous yellow to intelligent amber. The ritual completes. The basilisk shudders, then goes still, opens its eyes, looks at Harry and Hermione without killing them. The compulsion to kill is gone. I am free. You are, Harry confirms. The great serpent lowers its massive head, a gesture of respect. You have given me what 1,000 years of imprisonment denied. I am in your debt. We want partnership. Harry steps closer. Hogwarts needs a guardian, someone to protect the students, hunt threats. Would you accept that role? I would be guardian instead of prisoner. Yes. Free to roam the castle, free to hunt, free to choose, but choosing to protect. The basilisk considers. Then, I accept, young sovereign. I name you master not of chains, but of covenant. I will guard Hogwarts. I will protect the young. And I will hunt those who would harm them. Hermione speaks. We need to find the source of your enslavement, the diary that commanded you. A small one carried it. Red-haired girl, she wept as she wrote. The book drank her tears. Ginny Weasley, Harry realizes. Ron's sister. Where is she? The deep chamber, where the statue speaks. I left her there when I last hunted. They follow the basilisk deeper. Through corridors, into a chamber with Slytherin's massive statue. Ginny lies on the floor, pale, barely breathing, a black diary beside her. Hermione checks her. She's alive, but fading. The diary has been draining her life force. Harry picks up the diary, feels the dark magic inside, a horcrux, Riddle's 16-year-old self-preserved. You cannot have the girl, a voice says. Young, male, coming from the diary. Tom Riddle's memory materializes, translucent, fed by Ginny's stolen life force. You're finished, Riddle, Harry says. Am I? I'm Lord Voldemort, the heir of Slytherin, and you're just a child. I'm the heir of Emrys, and you're just a fragment, a echo, a ghost clinging to existence through a horcrux. Riddle's face twists with rage. You know about horcruxes. I know everything about them. Merlin studied them, knew how to make them, how to destroy them. Your immortality is an illusion. Hermione begins drawing runes on the ground. We're going to unmake you, properly, completely. No remnant, no echo. Just gone. You can't. We can. Watch. They perform the unmaking ritual. Faster this time. More practiced. The second horcrux they've destroyed. The diary doesn't just burn. It dissolves. Reality rejecting it. The pages turning to ash. The cover disintegrating. Riddle's shade screams. Tries to maintain coherence. Fails. He unravels. Torn apart by the earth magic. Erased from existence. The diary becomes nothing. Not even dust remains. Ginny gasps. Color returning to her face. Her eyes flutter open. Harry? Hermione? What? Where am I? Safe, Harry says. You're safe now. They help her up, explain gently what happened, how the diary possessed her, used her. I'm so sorry, Ginny sobs. I didn't know. I thought it was just a diary. It seemed friendly, understanding. It's not your fault, Hermione says firmly. Tom Riddle was a master manipulator. He fooled everyone. They return to the castle proper. The basilisk slides back into the pipes. A guardian now, not a monster. Dumbledore meets them in the entrance hall. Students gathering, whispers. The chamber, he asks, found, cleared. The basilisk is now Hogwarts' guardian. The diary horcrux is destroyed. Ginny, traumatized but healing. Dumbledore looks at them with something like awe. You've done in 1 year what I feared might take decades. 2 horcruxes destroyed. 1 monster redeemed. There are more horcruxes, more threats. We keep going. Summer 1993. Between second and third year, Harry and Hermione have spent the year studying soul magic intensively. The Codex has extensive sections on it. Merlin understood souls at a fundamental level, and they've made a terrible discovery. Harry bears a horcrux, a fragment of Voldemort's soul, created accidentally when the killing curse rebounded. Dumbledore confirmed it. He's known for years, but had no solution. Horcruxes are nearly impossible to remove from living hosts. Nearly impossible for the heirs of Emrys. The Codex describes a ritual, the extraction of shadows, designed to remove soul fragments from living beings without killing the host. It requires a major ley line nexus, Stonehenge, precise timing, summer solstice when earth magic is strongest, perfect execution. 1 mistake and Harry dies. Practice the rune work hundreds of times. June 21st, 1993. Summer solstice, dawn. They stand within Stonehenge. The ancient stones hum with power. The ley lines beneath Britain converge here. The oldest nexus, the most powerful. Dumbledore is present, and the Grangers, and Ron and his parents. Harry wanted people he trusts nearby, just in case. But only Harry and Hermione can perform the ritual. Harry lies at the center of the stone circle, on the ground. The earth itself. Hermione kneels beside him. The Codex open to the correct page. Are you ready? She asks. No, but we're doing this anyway. She begins. The ritual is not quick. It's not painless. Hermione chants in the old tongue, words that resonate with earth magic. She draws power from the Stonehenge nexus. Massive amounts, more than she's ever channeled. The stones glow, golden light erupts from the earth. Harry feels his soul being separated, layer by layer. The horcrux fragment has been fused to his soul for 12 years. Removing it is like surgery without anesthesia. He screams. The fragment fights. Riddle's soul doesn't want to let go. It tears at Harry's consciousness. Hermione's precision is perfect. She cuts away the horcrux without damaging Harry's soul, millimeter by millimeter, separating the corruption from the core. The stones of Stonehenge rise 6 inches off the ground, levitating. The power flowing through the ritual is immense. Leyline energy becomes visible, olden rivers in the air, flowing from across Britain. Converging on this point, the horcrux fragment tears free. It manifests as a miniature Voldemort wraith, screaming, trying to flee. But they prepared for this. Hermione has a containment circle ready. Elder Futhark runes. Perfect placement, the wraith hits the boundary. Cannot escape. Harry rises, exhausted, free, his soul complete for the first time since he was 1 year old. Together, they speak the word of unmaking. Annulaire. Harry collapses. Hermione catches him, lowers him to the earth. Is he? Dumbledore starts forward. He's alive, Hermione says, tears streaming down her face. He's whole. The horcrux is gone. Harry's scar, the lightning bolt that marked him for 12 years, fades, not disappearing completely, but becoming just a scar, no longer corrupted by dark magic. When Harry wakes hours later, he feels different, clearer, lighter, like a weight he didn't know he was carrying has been lifted. The connection to Voldemort, he says. It's gone. I can't feel him anymore. The horcrux was the connection, Hermione explains. You're free of him now. Harry sits up, looks around. The Grangers are crying. Ron looks shell-shocked. Dumbledore is smiling gently. 3 horcruxes destroyed, Harry says. The diary, the diadem, and me. You were never a horcrux, Hermione says firmly. You were Harry with a parasite attached. Now you're just Harry. He smiles. Just Harry. I like that. Summer 1993. Continued. With Harry free of the horcrux, they turn their attention to the remaining ones. The Codex provides guidance. Horcruxes must be objects of significance to their creator. Voldemort would have chosen carefully. Through research and Dumbledore's investigations, they identify Marvolo Gaunt's ring, Voldemort's grandfather's ring, Salazar Slytherin's locket, Helga Hufflepuff's cup, Nagini, Voldemort's snake, located in the ruins of the Gaunt Shack in Little Hangleton. Harry and Hermione travel there with Dumbledore. The shack is derelict. Dark magic saturates it. They find the ring. Black stone. Gold band, the resurrection stone, one of the deathly hallows, set in it. Don't touch it, Dumbledore warns. It's cursed. We know. Hermione uses levitation to place the ring in a prepared containment case. We'll perform the unmaking back at Hogwarts, on the ley line. They do. The ritual is becoming routine. 4th horcrux destroyed. The stone itself, the resurrection stone, remains intact. Dumbledore takes it for safekeeping. The locket is next, hidden in a sea cave, protected by Inferi and a basin of poison. The protections are formidable. But Harry and Hermione don't need to drink the poison. They channel earth magic to drain the basin safely. Retrieve the locket. 5th horcrux destroyed at Hogwarts. The cup proves more difficult. It's in Bellatrix Lestrange's Gringotts vault, heavily warded, but Harry and Hermione are sovereigns. The goblins answer to them. Ragnarok arranges access. They retrieve the cup, destroy it, 6 down. Only Nagini remains. Summer 1994. Before 4th year, Harry and Hermione are 13, powerful beyond measure, growing more confident in their roles. But they've been patient with the Ministry, allowing Fudge to govern, not interfering. That changes when Fudge makes a catastrophic mistake. He places Dementors at Hogwarts. The official reason, protect against Sirius Black, who escaped Azkaban. The real reason, assert Ministry authority over the school. Harry and Hermione will not tolerate Dementors near students. August 30th, 1994. Ministry of Magic, London. Harry and Hermione walk into the Ministry atrium. No appointment, no warning. They're wearing their royal blue and gold robes. Rings of emeries glowing. The atrium falls silent. Hundreds of Ministry workers stopping to stare. They walk to the elevators. An Aurora tries to stop them. You can't just stand aside. The Aurora's wand arm drops. He cannot disobey. The magic compels it. They ride to level 1, the minister's floor. Cornelius Fudge is in his office. Surrounded by advisors, he looks up as they enter. What is the meaning of... Hermione places a document on his desk. Charter of Emrys, authenticated by Gringotts, signed by Merlin and the Founders in the year 991. Read it. Goes pale. This can't be legitimate. It is. Harry's voice is cold. We invoke the Emrys Clause. As proven heirs of Merlin, we claim supreme authority over magical Britain. Your children. You can't... We can. And we do. Hermione's eyes are hard. Cornelius Fudge, you are removed as Minister for Magic. Effective immediately. You have no right. Your corruption, incompetence, and cowardice are no longer acceptable. Fudge sputters. His advisors scramble. Legal experts are summoned. Amelia Bones arrives, head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. She reads the charter carefully. After 10 minutes, it's legitimate, authenticated by Gringotts. Predates the ministry's founding, legally binding under the treaties that created our government. This is insane, Fudge shouts. This is law, Bones corrects. She looks at Harry and Hermione. You truly intend to exercise this authority? We do, Harry confirms. The ministry has failed. Corruption, blood prejudice, incompetence. It ends today. Throughout the ministry, every document bearing Fudge's signature as minister burns simultaneously. Thousands of parchments. In every department, all burning with golden fire. His official seal, the one on his desk, cracks in half. The magic recognizes the change. Fudge is no longer minister. Amelia Bones, Hermione announces, you will serve as interim minister while we establish new systems. You are competent, honest, respected. I accept, Bones says, shocked but rising to the moment. Dolores Umbridge, Harry's voice drops. Dangerous. You are stripped of all positions within the ministry and banned from any involvement in magical education. Your cruelty to children is documented. It ends now. Umbridge, standing in the corner, goes red. You cannot? We can. We have. Hermione gestures. Golden light wraps around Umbridge's ministry credentials. They dissolve to ash. Guards, remove her, Bones orders. Umbridge is escorted out, screaming about rights and procedures. Harry addresses the room. The Wizengamot will be reformed. Blood status will no longer determine representation. Seats will be earned through competence and public service. Not bought, not inherited. The Department of Magical Law Enforcement will investigate all suspected Death Eaters who escaped justice through bribes, including Lucius Malfoy. The International Statute of Secrecy will be reviewed. Integration with Muggles will begin, gradually, carefully, but inevitably, and the Dementors at Hogwarts will be removed. Today, or we remove them ourselves. Silence. Absolute silence. Then Amelia Bones stands. As interim minister, I support these reforms. The Dementors will be recalled immediately. Wizengamot members who were present. Recognizing the authority, not everyone agrees. Some resist. But the magic doesn't lie. The charter is real. The heirs are legitimate. The Daily Prophet's headline the next day. The Sorcerer Kings. Heirs of Emrys seize control of ministry. Reactions are extreme. Celebration from Muggle-borns and progressives. Fear from blood purists. Uncertainty from everyone else. But no one doubts their power. The age of the Sorcerer Kings has begun. September 1994. Fourth year begins. The ministry is in turmoil. Amelia Bones works tirelessly as interim minister, implementing the reforms Harry and Hermione demanded. The Wizengamot is being restructured. Blood purists are losing power, but one injustice remains. Sirius Black is in Azkaban, imprisoned for 12 years without trial. Innocent. Harry and Hermione have known this since second year. They captured Peter Pettigrew, Ron's rat Scabbers, using legilimency and forced transformation. The Animagus revealed everything under Veritaserum. They kept him imprisoned in a secure Gringotts holding cell, waiting for the right moment. That moment is now September 15th, 1994. Special Wizengamot session. The chamber is full. Every seat occupied. This is the most significant trial in decades. Harry and Hermione sit in the Sovereign's box. A platform above the regular seats, the charter grants them observer status for all trials. Amelia Bones presides. We are here to retry the case of Sirius Orion Black, accused of betraying James and Lily Potter to Lord Voldemort. accused of murdering Peter Pettigrew and 12 muggles, imprisoned in Azkaban, without trial since November 1981. The chamber erupts in whispers. Without trial, Sirius is brought in. He's gaunt, hollow-eyed, his hair is matted, his robes are rags. 12 years in Azkaban have broken him physically. But when he sees Harry in the Sovereign's box, something flickers in his eyes. Hope. "Mr. Black," Bones says, "you were imprisoned without trial. That is a violation of your rights under magical law. This session will determine your guilt or innocence. Do you understand?" Sirius's voice is raspy from disuse. "I understand." The prosecution will present evidence. But before the prosecutor can speak, Hermione stands. The sovereigns invoke the right of evidence presentation. "We have new testimony that supersedes the original charges." Hermione gestures. Aurors bring in Peter Pettigrew. Bound. Terrified. The Wizengamot erupts. "Pettigrew is supposed to be dead." "Peter Pettigrew," Harry announces. "Animagus. Traitor. The actual betrayer of the Potters. He faked his death by cutting off his own finger and transforming. He's been hiding as a rat for 12 years. "Impossible," someone shouts. "Test him," Hermione says calmly. "Forced transformation, verite serum, the truth will be clear." The tests are performed. Pettigrew transforms into a rat before their eyes. Under verite serum, he confesses everything. I was the secret keeper, not Sirius. They switched at the last moment. James thought Sirius was too obvious a target. I betrayed them to the Dark Lord. I killed the Muggles. I framed Sirius. The chamber is in chaos. Shouting, disbelief, rage. Dumbledore stands. He's been silent until now. I should have questioned this. Sirius was James Potter's best friend. The evidence seemed clear, but I should have demanded a trial. I failed him. Bones calls for order. The evidence is overwhelming. Sirius Black is innocent. Peter Pettigrew is guilty of all charges. The vote is called. 47 votes for innocent. 2 votes for further investigation, 1 abstention. Sirius Black is exonerated. He collapses in his chair, sobbing. 12 years of injustice finally ended. Pettigrew is sentenced to Azkaban, life imprisonment. After the trial, Sirius is taken to St. Mungo's. He needs healing, food, care. Harry visits that evening. Sirius is in a private room, clean, fed, wearing proper clothes. He still looks broken, but healing has begun. "Harry," he says, voice thick with emotion, you saved me. You're innocent. You deserved freedom. I'm your godfather. I should have been there for you. Instead, you had to rescue me." Harry sits beside the bed. "You were in prison. That wasn't your fault. What matters is now. You're free. You're alive. We'll go from here. Your parents would be so proud of you, what you've become, the power you have, the way you use it." Sirius reaches out, grips Harry's hand. "Thank you. Your family. That's what family does." September 20th, 1994. Azkaban Island. 5 days after Sirius's exoneration, Harry and Hermione stand on the rocky shores of Azkaban. The prison looms above them, dark, oppressive. Dementors circling overhead like vultures. "This place is an abomination," Hermione says. "Dementors feeding on human misery. It's torture disguised as justice." Today, they brought no Aurors, no ministry officials. This is personal. They walk to the prison entrance. The Dementors sense them, descend. Cold washes over them, the Dementors trying to feed on happiness, on warmth, but Harry and Hermione are connected to the earth itself. The ley line beneath Azkaban, yes, even this cursed place sits on one, pulses with power. They don't cast Patronuses. They do something better. Together, they kneel, place their hands on the stone, connect to the ley line beneath the island. Purify the earth. Golden light erupts. From the ground, it spreads in a wave, cleansing, purifying. The ley line beneath Azkaban has been corrupted for centuries, feeding the darkness, sustaining the Dementors. No more. The earth magic burns away the corruption like sunlight burning fog. The Dementors shriek, high-pitched, agonizing. The ley line's pure magic rejects them. Their presence is incompatible with earth magic this clean. They flee. Hundreds of them, streaming away from the island. Across the North Sea, unable to remain, the prison walls crack, not collapsing. But the oppressive weight, the magical darkness that made Azkaban unbearable, lifts. Prisoners in their cells feel it. Some laugh, some cry. Some just sit in shock. The light fades. The ley line glows cleanly now. Pure, free of corruption, Amelia Bones apparates onto the island with a team of Aurors. She stares at the fleeing Dementors. At the transformed prison, what did you do? We cleansed the ley line, Harry says. The Dementors can't survive here anymore. They're gone. Where will they go? Somewhere far from Britain, we don't care where. But they will not remain in our territory. These creatures feed on human misery. That's unacceptable. Bones looks at the prison. We'll need new security, human guards. Proper oversight. You'll build a new prison, Hermione says. Humane. Properly managed. This place will be dismantled. Azkaban is a symbol of everything wrong with our justice system. It ends. Agreed. Bones looks at them with something like awe. You've changed more in a month than the Ministry changed in a century. We're just beginning. October 1994. Hogwarts. Sirius moves into the Founders Wing as Harry's guardian and advisor. He's still healing. 12 years of Dementor exposure leaves scars. But he's getting stronger daily. The students accept his presence. The Heirs of Emery's having a recently freed godfather living with them is just another oddity in a year full of them. Classes continue. Harry and Hermione are now in 4th year. The curriculum is more advanced, but they're still years ahead. They attend classes out of respect for their teachers and to maintain some normalcy. Ron remains their closest friend. He's adjusted to their power remarkably well. Treats them normally, argues with Hermione about homework, plays chess with Harry. You two are mental, he says, one evening in the Founders Wing. You reformed the Ministry, freed Sirius, banished the Dementors, and you still do your potions essays. We're still students, Hermione says. The power doesn't change that. You're sovereigns. You could probably just decree yourselves graduated. And miss learning from Professors McGonagall and Flitwick? Never. October 30th, 1994. Halloween Feast. Dumbledore stands at the staff table. As you know, Hogwarts is hosting the Triwizard Tournament this year. Students from Beauxbatons and Durmstrang will arrive shortly. The Goblet of Fire will select one champion from each school. But Harry and Hermione feel something wrong. The Goblet of Fire sits in the entrance hall. They pass it on their way to the feast. Both sense the corruption immediately. Dark magic, woven into the selection enchantments. Someone's tampered with it, Harry says quietly. Agreed. We need to investigate. After the feast, they examine the goblet closely, extend their magical senses. The tampering is subtle but present. Someone has added an extra entry mechanism, a way to force a 4th champion. Voldemort, Hermione realizes, this is his plan. Force you into the tournament, use it to, what? Kidnap you? Kill you? Probably. Harry studies the dark magic. We can remove this, purge the tampering. After we fix it. Evidence first. They work through the night, carefully unraveling the dark magic. It's complex. Whoever placed it was skilled. Barty Crouch Jr., they'll later discover. By dawn, they've extracted the corruption, and a piece of parchment falls out of the goblet. Harry Potter, written in handwriting that makes Harry's scar prickle. Voldemort's handwriting. The Halloween feast arrives. Dumbledore prepares to have the goblet select champions. Harry stands before he can begin. Professor, before the selection begins, there's something you should know. He walks to the goblet, the entire hall watching. He places his hand on the cup. The dark magic they removed is still fresh in his memory. He shows it to everyone, a technique from the Codex, projecting magical residue as visible light. Black tendrils appear around the goblet. Dark magic, corruption. Gasps throughout the hall. Someone tampered with the Goblet of Fire, Harry announces. Attempted to force my entry into the tournament against my will. We removed the tampering. And found this. He holds up the parchment with his name. This is a plot, an attempt to use the tournament to harm me, possibly kill me. The foreign delegations erupt in outrage. Karkaroff stands. This is preposterous. You accuse someone of... I accuse Voldemort, Harry says flatly. Or his servants. The dark magic signature matches his work. He wants me in this tournament, which means the tournament itself is compromised. What do you propose? Cancel it, Hermione says, standing. The tournament is too dangerous if it's been corrupted. The risk isn't worth it. Our students have prepared. Then we offer an alternative, Harry says. Not a tournament, a demonstration of what true magical mastery looks like. A demonstration? Karkaroff asks skeptically. The heirs of Emrys, Hermione says, will perform the ascension ceremony, a showcase of Merlin-level magic. Your students will witness techniques not seen in 1,000 years, an educational experience far more valuable than watching teenagers fight dragons. Dumbledore's eyes twinkle. That is an interesting proposal. The foreign headmasters confer, reluctantly agree. The alternative is canceling everything and returning home with nothing. December 25th, 1994. Christmas feast. The Great Hall is packed, all 3 schools, every student, every professor. The ministry sent representatives, even members of the International Confederation of Wizards are present. Harry and Hermione stand at the center of the hall, wearing their royal blue and gold robes, rings glowing. "We are the heirs of Emrys," Harry begins, "the inheritors of Merlin's legacy. What you are about to witness is not wand magic as you know it. This is ancient magic, earth magic, the power of ley lines and natural forces." 3 demonstrations, Hermione continues. Mastery of elements, architectural magic, and soul magic. They begin. First demonstration, mastery of elements. Harry raises his hands, connects to the ley line beneath Hogwarts, draws power, earth, air, fire, water. All 4 elements respond to his call. He weaves them together, creating a dragon made of living flame with scales of flowing water, claws of stone, and wings of wind. The dragon is massive, 30 feet long. It flies around the Great Hall. Magnificent, terrible, beautiful. Students scream, some in fear, most in awe. The dragon roars. The sound is real, resonating through the hall, then dissolves into rainbow mist that settles gently over the audience. The hall erupts in applause. Stunned, amazed. Second demonstration, architectural magic. Hermione's turn. She doesn't create something new. She reshapes what exists. The Great Hall's walls extend upward, growing. The ceiling, normally enchanted to show the sky, becomes a true view of the cosmos. Not an illusion, a window into actual space. Students can see stars, galaxies, nebulae, the universe itself. Then Hermione creates a perfect replica of the astronomy tower, full-sized, suspended in midair above them, complete in every detail, solid, real. She walks through it, demonstrating it's not an illusion. Then she dismisses it with a wave. Everything returns to normal, the hall exactly as it was, except everyone knows what they saw was real. Third demonstration, soul magic. The final demonstration is the most dangerous, the most advanced. Together, Harry and Hermione perform the Conjuration of Memory, a spell so advanced even Dumbledore has only read about it in theory. They draw from their inherited memories, the knowledge passed down through the rings of Emrys. Memories of Merlin himself. A figure appears at the center of the hall, Merlin Emrys. Not a portrait, not a ghost. A perfect tangible illusion drawn from their genetic memory. He's tall, dignified, wearing robes of royal blue and gold. His eyes are ancient, kind, powerful. He walks through the hall. Students part before him. He approaches each headmaster, each school. Magic is not about power, Merlin's voice resonates. It is about responsibility. These are my heirs. Learn from them. Learn that magic serves life, protects, heals, creates. Learn that strength without wisdom is tyranny. Learn that knowledge without compassion is cruelty. He places a hand on Harry's shoulder. Then Hermione's. You will face darkness. You will face fear. But you are ready. You carry my legacy not because you are powerful, but because you are wise enough to wield power justly. Then he fades. Dissolving into golden light, the Great Hall is silent. Then Fleur de la Cour stands. Tears streaming down her face, she begins to applaud. Another student joins. Then another. Soon the entire hall is standing, cheering, not politely, not out of obligation, in genuine awe. Karkaroff kneels. Actually kneels. Durmstrang recognizes the Sorcerer Kings. We are honored to witness your power, beyond anything we imagined. Even the visiting ministry officials look shaken. This wasn't just a demonstration of power. It was a statement. The heirs of Emrys are not children playing at sovereignty. They are the real thing. Far away, Albanian forest, Voldemort watches the memory in a pensieve. A spy at Hogwarts provided it. He sees the elemental dragon. The architectural mastery, the conjuration of Merlin himself. For the first time in decades, the Dark Lord feels something he thought he'd conquered. Fear. These children are not like other wizards. They're not even like Dumbledore. They're something else entirely. He needs more time, more preparation, more power. The final horcrux, Nagini, coils around him protectively. Soon, he hisses to the snake, soon we will be ready. And then we will see who is truly powerful. Summer 1995, the horcrux hunt concludes. Harry and Hermione have spent the year methodically locating and destroying Voldemort's anchors. The diary, destroyed second year. The diadem, destroyed second year. Harry's scar, removed third year. The ring, destroyed third year. The locket, destroyed summer after third year. The cup, destroyed summer after third year. Only Nagini remains, the snake, Voldemort's last horcrux. The one he keeps closest. Finding her requires finding Voldemort himself. They've been tracking him, monitoring magical disturbances across Europe. Voldemort's presence corrupts ley lines. His dark magic creates noticeable disruptions. They find him in the Albanian forest, the same place he hid for years as a wraith. He's taken a body now, not through the Tri-Wizard plot. They prevented that, but through a different ritual. Darker, more costly. The body is pale, snake-like, red eyes, sustained by dark magic and Nagini's venom. Weaker than he would have been with the Tri-Wizard resurrection, but still dangerous. July 31st, 1995. Harry's birthday, 15 years old. They choose this date deliberately, symbolic. Harry was marked by Voldemort on his first birthday. He'll end Voldemort on his 15th. They travel via international portkey, with Dumbledore's knowledge but not his presence. He wanted to come. They refused. This is our burden, Hermione told him. Our responsibility, the heirs of Emrys, ending the threat of a Dark Lord who sought to pervert magic itself. The Albanian forest is dark, twisted, corrupted by decades of Voldemort's presence. The ley line beneath it pulses sickly. Infected, they find him in a clearing, his rudimentary body more substantial than expected. Wand in hand, Nagini coiled protectively around him. When he sees them, he laughs. The sound is cold, cruel. Children, you've come to die then. We've come to end you, Harry says calmly. End me. I am Lord Voldemort. I am immortal. I have conquered death itself. You've conquered nothing, Hermione says. You've fragmented yourself, diminished yourself. You're less than you were, and we're going to erase what remains. Voldemort raises his wand. Avada Kedavra channels earth magic through his body, grounds the curse into the earth beneath him like a lightning rod. The ground cracks, smokes, but Harry stands unharmed. Voldemort's red eyes widen. Impossible. Ancient magic, Harry says. Earth magic. The power of ley lines. You abandon these truths in your quest for dark power. That's why you'll lose. Voldemort attacks again and again, killing curses. Cruciatus. Cutting hexes. Everything in his arsenal. Harry and Hermione don't fight back with wand magic. They perform the ritual of erasure. Together, they kneel, place their hands on the earth, connect to the corrupted ley line beneath the forest. And they purify it. Golden light erupts from the ground. Spreading in waves, the pure earth magic burns away centuries of corruption. The trees that were withered begin to bloom. Flowers sprout from dead soil. The darkness lifts. Voldemort screams. The ley line's pure magic rejects his existence. His dark magic cannot coexist with earth magic this clean. His rudimentary body begins to destabilize, dissolving from the inside out. Nagini writhes. The horcrux fragment inside her burns away, the dark magic anchoring it destroyed by the purification. No, Voldemort shrieks. I am immortal. I cannot die. I am... You are nothing, Hermione says, speaking the old tongue. You are corruption. You are violation. You are everything the earth rejects. Harry joins her. Let the land reclaim what you stole. They dissolve it. His constituent magic, the power he stole, corrupted, twisted, returns to the ley lines, purified, cleansed. His memories, his identity, his very existence unravels like thread pulled from cloth. No afterlife, no ghost, no echo in the next life. Complete erasure. Tom Riddle ceases to exist. Not dead, unmade. The forest falls silent. Nagini transforms, the horcrux destroyed, The curse that bound her, she was a maledictus, a woman cursed to become a snake. Breeks. She returns to human form for the first time in decades. An elderly woman, wrinkled, scarred, but human. She collapses, weeping. "Thank you," she whispers in a language older than English. Ancient. "Thank you for my freedom." They help her up, support her, take her back to Britain via Portkey. St. Mungo's healers take her. Begin treatment. She'll survive. She'll heal. And Voldemort is gone. Forever. August 1st, 1995. The announcement. Harry and Hermione stand before the Wizengamot. Every seat filled, the entire ministry watching. Lord Voldemort is no more, Harry announces. He has been erased. Not killed. Not imprisoned. Unmade. The darkness that plagued Britain for decades has been dissolved. Returned to the earth. Purified. Disbelief. Joy. The wizarding world explodes in celebration. Parties in every magical community. Families reunited. Death Eaters surrender en masse without their master. They're nothing. But Harry and Hermione don't celebrate publicly. They return to Hogwarts, to the Founders' Wing, stand at the window overlooking the grounds. "We did it," Hermione says quietly. "We did. Changed the world. Merlin chose well." They stand in silence, watching the sun set over Hogwarts. The ley line beneath the castle hums. Pure, clean, alive. And they know, really know, that they've fulfilled their purpose. The heirs of Emery's have saved magical Britain. 19 years later, September 1st, 2017. Platform 9 3/4 has changed. The barrier is still there. Tradition matters. But the station is different. Muggles and wizards mingle openly. Parents wearing business suits chat with parents in robes. The statute of secrecy was repealed 12 years ago. The integration accords replaced it. Magical and non-magical Britain learning to coexist. Harry Potter stands on the platform. 37 years old, still wearing the Ring of Emery's. His hair is streaked with premature silver, a side effect of channeling massive earth magic for 2 decades. He's married to Luna Lovegood. Her unique perspective on magic fascinated him. Her understanding of natural forces complemented his own. They have 3 children, James, 16, already at Hogwarts, Albus, 14, starting his 4th year, and Lily, 11, boarding the train for the first time today. "Dad," Lily says nervously, "what if I'm not, you know? What if I can't do earth magic like you?" Harry kneels, looks his daughter in the eyes. "Lily, the power isn't what matters. What you choose to do with whatever magic you have, that's what defines you. Your mother was the strangest, most wonderfully odd person I ever met. No earth magic, just brilliance and compassion. She's extraordinary, so are you. But you're the heir of Emery's. I'm also your father. And I'm telling you, be yourself. That's always enough." Lily hugs him, boards the train. Across the platform, Hermione Granger Crumb stands with her family. Hermione, as Minister for Magic, has been for 8 years, elected 4 times with overwhelming majorities. Still wears her Ring of Emery's. She married Victor Crumb. Love grew from mutual respect during the Ascension ceremony. Victor's dedication to mastery in Quidditch matched her dedication to mastery in magic. They have 2 children, Rose, 15, and Hugo, 12. "Mum," Rose asks, "Professor Binns says you rewrote half of magical history. Is that true?" Hermione laughs. "We didn't rewrite it, darling. We corrected it. We removed the propaganda, the blood supremacist lies. We told the truth about magic's origins, about ancient cultures, about the contributions of Muggle-borns throughout history. And people accepted it. Change takes time, but it happens." Hugo tugs her sleeve. "Can you show me earth magic again? The thing with the water? When you're older, love. Earth magic requires connection to ley lines. You need to understand the theory first." The train whistle blows. Harry and Hermione gravitate toward each other. Old habit, the sword and the staff, the heart and the mind. "Another year begins," Harry says. "Another generation learns," Hermione replies. They watch the train pull away. The world they've built is visible all around them. Flying brooms alongside helicopters. Enchanted buildings next to skyscrapers. Ley line nexuses marked as protected historical sites. "Do you think we did enough?" Harry asks quietly. The question he asks every year. "We broke a 1,000-year-old cycle," Hermione says. "We ended blood supremacy. We unified magical and Muggle society. We created institutions where everyone has a voice. We taught the world that magic serves life. Merlin would be proud. Merlin is proud. I can feel it sometimes, through the ring. His approval, his satisfaction that we didn't abuse the power he gave us. Harry looks at his ring. The red enamel still gleams. The rune of Emrys. I still feel like that 11-year-old kid sometimes, standing in Gringotts, completely overwhelmed. We all do, but that's the secret. We're still learning, still growing. Voldemort sought perfection. We embrace evolution. A young witch approaches, maybe 20 years old. Excuse me, Minister Granger? Lord Potter. I just wanted to say thank you. My mother was Muggle-born. She told me stories about what it was like before the reforms, the prejudice, the fear. What you did, you changed everything for people like her. Hermione smiles. We just gave everyone the rights they should have always had. Your mother's magic was her own. We just made sure society recognized that. Grateful, Harry and Hermione turn from the platform. The London skyline shows a city transformed. Magic and technology integrated, not separated, not hidden. United, they apparate to the ministry together. Work awaits. Hermione has legislation to review. Harry, as headmaster of Hogwarts succeeding Dumbledore 5 years ago, has curriculum meetings. The Department of Leyline Studies needs funding approval. The Granger Crumb Foundation for Squib Rights has new proposals. The Global Magical Alliance wants to discuss expanding the integration accords worldwide. Endless work. That evening, Hogwarts, Harry stands in the headmaster's office. Fawkes's great-great-grandson perches nearby. The portraits of former headmasters watch. Dumbledore's portrait speaks. He passed peacefully at age 150 6 years ago. You've done well, Harry. Better than I could have imagined. We had advantages you didn't. The rings, the codex, the direct connection to Merlin's knowledge. You had those things, but what mattered was how you used them. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yet you and Hermione wielded absolute power for over 20 years, and never became tyrants. We had each other. Balance. She kept me from becoming reckless. I kept her from becoming too detached. Together, we stayed human. That's the lesson Merlin intended. The dual heirs, the sword and the staff, neither complete alone, both necessary together. Looks out over Hogwarts. The castle is different now. Expanded, departments for earth magic, leyline studies, magical integration. But the core remains. The 4 houses, the traditions, the magic. Students walk the grounds, all types, purebloods, half-bloods, muggle-borns, even some muggles taking theory classes. Not everyone with magical ancestry has active magic, but they can still learn. Did we build something that will last? Harry asks. You built something worth lasting, Dumbledore's portrait says. Whether it lasts depends on the next generation, on whether they remember why you built it. We remind them. Hermione's office, Ministry of Magic. She sits at her desk, mountains of paperwork, proposals, petitions, requests. Being minister is exhausting, but necessary. A knock on the door. Ron Weasley enters. He's head Aurora now, married to Hermione's distant cousin. They stayed friends through everything. Got a minute? Ron asks. For you, always. You calmed her down. She's brilliant. She'll be fine. She wants to be like you, Minister for Magic, someday. Hermione smiles. Then I'll teach her, just like Dumbledore taught us. Well, tried to teach us. We learned so fast we kept skipping ahead. Ron laughs. Remember first year? When you solved McGonagall's matchstick transformation in 30 seconds, and she just stared at you? Or when you won the chess match against McGonagall's set without losing a single piece? Strategy, it's what I do. Ron sobers. You two changed everything. The world's unrecognizable from when we started Hogwarts. Better? Wars, they just get to be kids. That was always the goal. Ron leaves. Hermione returns to work. Hours pass. Finally she finishes. Signs the last document. Closes the last folder. She pulls out a mirror from her desk. An old communication mirror, paired with one Harry has. Harry, you still awake? His face appears. Barely. Just finished the curriculum reviews. Walk with me? Where? Stonehenge. I want to feel the ley line, ground myself. I'll meet you there. Stonehenge. Midnight. Harry and Hermione stand in the center of the ancient stone circle. The ley line beneath pulses, strong, clean, alive. They kneel, place their hands on the earth, connect. The power flows through them, not taking, just touching, feeling the heartbeat of the world. This never gets old, Harry says. It's home, not Hogwarts, not the ministry. This, the connection to the earth. Two people who changed the world, who wielded godlike power, who stayed human through it all. Do you regret it, Harry asks, taking the rings, accepting the burden? Do you? No. I just wonder sometimes what we'd be like if we'd been normal. We'd be dead. Voldemort would have won. The world would be darker. Sometimes I miss simplicity. When our biggest worry was potions homework. Harry laughs. We never worried about potions homework. We always got perfect marks. Fair point. The ley line's power fades as they disconnect. Same time next month, Hermione asks. Always. We need these moments to remember why we did this. We did it to heal, to protect, to create. We did it because Merlin asked us to. And we couldn't say no. Would you want to? If you could go back, refuse the rings, live normally? Harry considers, no. This is who we're meant to be. They apparate home, to their families, their lives, their responsibilities. The sorcerer kings who chose service over power. The heirs of Emrys who proved that magic, wielded wisely, can change the world. Epilogue, the final memory, summer 2030. 13 years after Platform 9 3/4. Harry is 50, Hermione is 51. Both are winding down their active careers. Harry is training his successor as headmaster. Hermione is preparing to step down as minister. They meet at Stonehenge one final time as active leaders. This is it, Harry says. The end of an era, the beginning of a new one. We raised a generation, taught them, showed them what's possible. Now they take over. Are they ready? We weren't ready at 11, but we managed. They perform one last ritual, not a spell, a record. Using soul magic from the Codex, they create a memory crystal, a perfect record of everything they learned, everything they experienced, everything Merlin's legacy taught them. They seal it in a new vault at Gringotts, protected by the same wards that protected the Rings of Emrys. For the next heirs, Hermione says, if they're ever needed. Let's hope they're not. They return to the surface. Two old friends. Two legendary figures, two people who saved the world and then quietly stepped back. The ley line beneath Stonehenge hums. Across Britain, across Europe, across the world, wherever they cleansed corruption, healed darkness, restored balance, the ley lines sing, a song of earth, of life, of magic used rightly, the song of Emrys, and in that song a whisper. Merlin's voice, one last message to his heirs. You were not chosen because you were powerful, you were chosen because you were wise enough to wield power justly. You have done well, my children. Rest now. Let others carry the torch you lit. Harry and Hermione hear it, feel it, understand. Their task is complete. The age of the Sorcerer Kings is ending, but the world they built, a world of integration, equality, wisdom, and compassion, will endure, not because they're immortal, but because they taught others to value what they valued, to protect what they protected, to serve rather than rule. And that is the greatest magic of all. Let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.